Rufai and Dr. Abati has taken Wike's media chat to a different level, whereby Rufai is asking if this is democracy or demonstration of grace. Dr. Abati, on the other hand, has played back Wike's history, telling him that he does not have the moral right, he does not have the capacity, that Wike is not even eligible to question Peter Obi's character, because Wike himself does not have character himself. Recall that Wike has opposed Peter Obi return to PDP. That if Peter Obi returns to PDP, that means that Obi does not have character. Obi is a party prostitute. Anyway, Dr. Abati, on the other hand, has given Wike woto as the way it's supposed to be. Let's watch this video.
Users on social media have been reacting to comments made by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, who during a media parley on Monday voiced his strong opposition to the possible return of former presidential candidate Peter Obi to the People's Democratic Party, warning that such a move will be destructive to the opposition platform. He emphasized that it would be wrong to welcome back someone who had publicly discredited the party, stating that any suggestion of Obi's return would be an attempt to destroy the party further. Well, let's take a look before we take some reactions.
Even this one you have done now. To what? Bringing Obi to where? Obi to where? You want to kill the party the more? Obi that, I mean, you see, if somebody don't have characters, Obi, that was abusing the party, that the party is rotten, is this? So the party is good enough for you to come and run for, you see these people, ambition can make you even go to Satan's house. If you want to destroy this party, that will bring Obi. Let me even Obi come. There's nowhere he will go because of ambition. Can't we be principled? Because you're looking for president. Anybody that, if he has not available, this doesn't cost me, this doesn't cost me. So no more ideology, no longer principle.
No ideology, no. Let me just take reactions. This is from Olufemi, who wrote, Mr. Nyesom Wike has declared that speculations about Peter Obi's possible return to the People's Democratic Party will damage the party. One remarkable trait of Nigerian politicians is their capacity to declare drowning as if it were graceful swimming. Since 2023, it has been evident that the fear of Peter Obi within the All Progressives Congress forms the very foundation of their political discourse. Wike himself recognizes that should Obi or Jonathan secure the PDP presidential ticket, the APC would face a formidable, perhaps insurmountable contest in 2027. In truth, Obi's candidacy under the PDP would be a greater asset than the relentless maneuvers of Wike, whose conduct appears calculated to render the PDP politically impotent and thereby ease the path for his candidate, President Tinubu, in 2027. Another ex-user wrote, if Wike was genuinely concerned about the PDP's survival, his actions would have been more aligned with supporting the party's official candidate. His actions in this context could be seen as self-serving rather than party-serving. Ultimately, this statement highlights the complexities and often contradictory nature of Nigerian politics, where personal ambition, regional interest, and party loyalty frequently clash. It serves as a stark example of the internal strife that can weaken political parties and influence the outcome of elections. Well, I thought this tweet was quite apt. But you know, Wike also weighed in on the political chatter surrounding former President Goodluck Jonathan. The FCT minister advised Jonathan against participating in the 2027 presidential race, stating that he should continue in his role as a respected international statesman. He claims that the politicians now urging Jonathan to contest are the very same individuals who betrayed him and worked against him during the 2015 elections.
You talk about Jonathan. I respect Jonathan very well. I know he judged the role as an elder statesman and somebody the international community respects, and I think he will continue with that. These people who are weighing Jonathan, what is their strength? Are they not the same people who played him game in 2015? Some of these people, I see what I don't like is people who are trying to play to the gallery. You have heard that there's a governor who intends to run. If that governor is true that he intends to run, how would Banana be saying that PDP is waiting for either His Excellency President Goodluck Jonathan, former president, or His Excellency Peter Obi? For Christ's sake, nobody should cause problem for the party. When you cause problem for the party, you now say people are behind this problem. You are the one trying to. How would anybody even contemplate?
Well, Dr. Abati, I'm coming to you. But before I come to you, there's been a lot of talk around whether former President Goodluck Jonathan would even be eligible to run in the next presidential election. Now, a previously unpublished court judgment exclusively obtained by Arise News from a federal high court in Bayelsa State confirms that Jonathan is indeed qualified to contest in 2027. Well, an excerpt of the high court judgment states, and I quote, "I declare that the provisions of Section 137, sub 3 of the Constitution acquired the force of law with effect from the 7th day of June 2018, and same does not have retrospective application. I also declare that the first defendant is not disqualified by the provisions of Section 137(1)(b) and 3 of the Constitution from contesting for election into the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 2023 general elections. Consequently, I enter judgment for the first defendant and all the relief sought by the plaintiffs in their originating summons dated 16th May 2022, but filed 17th May 2022, fail, and are all hereby dismissed." And this was dated 27th May 2022 and signed by Honorable Justice Issa Dasen. Yes, go ahead, Dr. Abati. And we have this judgment at this moment, and it is exclusively obtained from Arise News. We know that as of now, aides of Goodluck Jonathan is still consulting to decide whether to run for president in 2027. Sources close to him even told This Day last night that he has been approached by 3 parties that all want him to contest on their platforms. I'd like for you to just, summarize some of those points, maybe starting with the point Wike was making about those that are pushing Goodluck Jonathan to run. He accused them of being, the people that betrayed him.
Well, without prejudice to the fact that Nyesom Wike, as a citizen of Nigeria, as a member of a political party, as a politician, can express his opinions, I think that he is not in a position to be presumptuous and rude on his own part to think that he can dictate options to other players within the same polity. In other words, it does not lie in his mouth to tell Mr. Peter Obi whether or not he should return to the PDP. Even if he expresses that opinion, he cannot go as far as saying that if Peter Obi decides to return to the PDP, then he will destroy the party, because Peter Obi had said previously that the PDP is a rotten political party, on the basis of which he decided in the lead up to the 2023 elections to join the Labour Party. So, Nyesom Wike occupying a moral high ground. He does not have the credentials to occupy that moral high ground. He says Peter Obi will come and destroy the PDP. What is he himself doing in the PDP other than destroying the PDP? He talks about character. If it is the issue about character, he cannot be in the right place to talk about character. Because the major issue in terms of his own membership of the People's Democratic Party is about his character. He is in the party and he's sabotaging the same party, and he's giving a lecture on morality. So I see a contradiction here. And I see, a conflicted personality. Personalities are conflicted when, they don't understand basic issues about decorum and even basic common sense. Now, as for President Goodluck Jonathan did not leave the party. Okay? He has always been in the party. He says President Jonathan is a statesman. He should not come to the PDP. Again, President Jonathan has not spoken on this.
Yeah.
The people who have spoken are his cousin, Azibaola, and also, Ikechukwu Eze, his media assistant. And they both say, we don't need anybody's advice, whether it's Keyamo or it's Nyesom Wike. And so it's a very fluid situation. But in other words, it's up to the individuals involved to make up their own minds. So let Wike not give lectures presumptuously about choices that other people can make, when he himself does not even listen to advice from other people. So the issue about character that he has raised is about him.
All right.
What is the second issue? That's the one I actually wanted to comment upon. President Jonathan's eligibility. We had Monday Ubani SAN on this program this morning. We quoted Chidion Dikalu. We quoted Onikekwo Braithwaite. And, after a review of all of this by Monday Ubani, the judgment of Justice Dashen of the Federal High Court of Bayelsa, of Yenagoa, Bayelsa State, I think the date is actually 2022, because that ruling was given in the lead-up to the 2023 general elections. However, at issue was Section 1371 and Section 1373 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. The position of the judge is that, look, an amendment of the law by legislative action cannot have retroactive or retrospective effect. That amendment of Section 137 sub 3, having been done in 2018, cannot apply to President Jonathan.
Yeah.
Two, the fact that President Jonathan was sworn in as a vice president or even as acting president would not apply. We're not under the military dispensation of General Buhari when laws of Nigeria had retrospective effect, and I think Bartholomew Ojulope and 4 others were executed retroactively. This is a democratic dispensation that must operate under the rule of law. However, the point by Onikekwo Braithwaite and Professor Odinkalu is that, look, we run a mischievous system. The APC and other interested parties may seek to exploit this if in 2027 or ahead of it, President Jonathan says he wants to run. But President Jonathan has not made any categorical statement. This is a case of people taking, I don't want to promote anybody, taking one medication on behalf of another person.
All right. Well, Rufai, in addition to speaking about the 2027 elections, Wike also defended the local government elections held in Rivers State over the weekend. He stated that the polls were conducted within the framework of emergency rule, backed by constitutional provisions. Meanwhile, a video posted by lawyer and activist Inibehe F. Young appears to tell a different story. Well, this video shows men thumbprinting ballot papers during the Rivers LGA elections. Well, in a caption to the video, F. Young stated, "This is the sham they perpetrated in Rivers State yesterday. In the name of local government elections, we're not going to end this madness through online opinions or litigation." And you see this video here. Of course, it presents a stark contrast to the minister's defense, fueling public debate and raising serious questions about, the legitimacy and transparency of the polls. This video, of course, has been trending since the weekend after the elections. Rufai on fire.
Anyway, when I heard the defense of what happened in OBI and other parts in the local government elections, it was like a kindergarten trying to solve simultaneous equation. It's not possible. And it smacks of the hypocrisy of our democratic process. And like Fela says, is this democracy or demonstration of Chris? I think Nigeria has entered into the full-blown era of demonstration of Chris. It's no longer democracy we practice. See the argument they gave. See, go and check. Empirical statistics say Nigeria has 27% vote turnout, average 27% voter turnout. They claim in OBI that they have 660,000 registered voters. See, and what they are claiming is that half of that 660,000 registered voters came out and they voted for the person that turned out to be the winner. In a country where there's high voter apathy, where it's over about 27%, remind me of any elections in recent time where we've gotten 50% voter turnout. So they claim that 660,000 people, 382,000 or 328,000 people out of that 660,000 people came out and they voted.
So we saw the
for one person in Obiakpo, and we are seeing videos, and we saw the streets of Obiakpo very empty.
Very, very empty.
And we are now seeing this video like this. And you see, they make the argument and they excite themselves. And I look at people like that make the argument for them. That hope when they do it against them, they will not complain. My second point, see, the Minister Wike, I think rather than doing all of this is political talk, I have work for him to do. I hear 3rd Avenue around Gwarimpa, there's a rubbish pile.
I saw you post that. It was so sad.
He should go and clean things like that. And the other place that there are rubbish pile in Abuja, because he's not busy enough. Rather than coming to play this hypocritical game he plays. The same person that is abusing Obi today.
Yes.
Please, you that are watching us, go and Google the video of Nyesom Wike praising Obi that he was the hero of the election. That is the one that didn't make power go to the north. That if he didn't come out, that is the hero of the election. He was praising him to high heaven.
Yes, we saw that. We took it
the
on
same
string.
Peter Obi, Nyesom Wike that is saying Peter Obi distorted the party. Ask him, did he allow Atiku Abubakar, the candidate of his own party, campaign in Rivers State in the last election? Ask him, didn't they bring this situation about, they didn't book stadium and all of that? Ask him, didn't he destroy his party because things didn't go his favor? Didn't Dino Melaye said he called him 19 times to solicit so that he would get vice presidential ticket running spot? When he didn't get that, he scattered his party. Ask him, if he had become vice presidential candidate, will he have said all he's saying? Today, that he's saying that Jonathan should be elder statesman and ask him, is it not Jonathan's wife that solicited for him when he even wanted to emerge in the first place? Is the Jonathans not his benefactor? Ask him. So you see, when people talk, when it favors them, and like Dr. Abati said, you are correct, and I've always said this, because they have the monopoly of media, because Nigerian media is struggling in such a way that you can buy airtime, you can come and talk, and if once they have the floor, they will talk, and people will not fact-check them or anything. So he says a lot of things that are subject to fact-checking. You see, when things does not go his way, he screams blue murder. He has the autonomy of thoughts because you can put a media chat on 2 or 3 stations and call journalists there to talk to you. And even half the time, you will not even allow the journalists talk. You will shout them down. You will destroy their credibility. You will say they don't know what they are saying. You want to even teach those that are coming to ask you questions and all of that. So when you look at all of these things put together, is it democracy we are practicing or demonstration of grace? I subscribe that we are in a full era of the demonstration of grace.
So sometimes when I listen to these politicians, sometimes you begin to ask a lot of questions like, these guys, do they listen to themselves when they talk sometimes? I mean, do they even think back? Look at Wike, who is talking about moral standard and eligibility and credibility. Wike that castigated Tinubu during the campaign, I mean in 2023, that Wike, that Tinubu wanted to continue where Buhari has stopped. Where did Buhari stop from? What did Buhari put in place that Tinubu wants to continue? He said a whole lot. Today, Wike is in that party. Today, Wike, in fact, has joined Tinubu to continue from where Buhari stopped. And that is what the Nigerians are enjoying today. Is this same Wike that has the moral right to come out to castigate Obi or any other politicians? So sometimes when I look at these guys, I was like, do they even listen to themselves when they talk at times? Look at Wike again that is calling Jonathan that if he comes back, that I should look at the people who, him now, has he not gone back to the vomit that he vomited? Something that he said he was never going to do. He said when he leaves office that nothing concerns him with River State governance. Wike is playing River State governance till today. Which one will he talk about and which one are we not going to talk about? Sometimes when you listen to these guys, that's why anyway, I'm not part of those persons that will listen to them and then I'll get confused. I wouldn't know my right. Share your opinion with us. Let's know what you think.